I am the clapper loader, and without me, there are no films. So, I am here in October, not talking about a horror film or a scary movie. I am here because about 5 minutes ago, I was watching another reviewer review films, and she reviewed some, recent ones, No Time to Die, and she reviewed Mass. I didn't agree with her assessment of No Time to Die, and I didn't agree with her assessment of the second movie that she reviewed that I can't remember. But I am here today because there is a free movie on YouTube as of October 9th, 2021. And it's interesting because, okay, let me take you back a couple of decades. So I remember I still am a huge fan of Siskel and Ebert. If it weren't for them, I don't think I would have ever had as many great films on my radar as I've had over the years. So this movie is good, and I saw the review on Siskel and Ebert, and they're the ones that tipped me off to trottle along to the theater to go and see it. The movie is 1995's Congo. Now, do I think Congo is a good movie? I think Congo, honestly, is along the same lines of Venom and Venom, Let There Be Carnage. One of them was actually in the 90s, and the other mimics the style of 90s films. And Congo is one of those movies I can rewatch or have playing at any time, any day. It's fun to listen to the quips. It's fun to look at the interesting parallel storylines that are happening. There are two storylines happening at once, and they're both as equally important to the characters, and to see the outcome of that. So I'm not going to do any spoilers, but basically what I'm going to say you can find or see in any trailer. So you have a woman played by Laura Linney, and she needs to get to Africa because her boyfriend, played by Bruce Campbell, they've lost touch with him. So she needs to go to Africa to find him. At the same time, there are research scientists, and they need to take Amy, who is a talking gorilla, over to Africa, specifically Congo. And the adventure of how these two eventually get to the end game of their film, of the film, is it's quite a ride, because you've got so many odd characters coming in. You have and character actors. So you've got Joe Pantoliano, or Joey Pants. You've got Ernie Hudson. You've got Delroy Lindo. And you have the incomparable Tim Curry. Now, for those of you who have no idea of any of those actors' names that I've rattled off, let's start with Tim Curry, who is famously from the miniseries It, where he played It, the clown. And we have Delroy Lindo, who, the first movie that came to my mind with him in it is The Core, with Aaron Eckhart. And Aaron Eckhart went on to play, more affectionately called The Dark Knight. And we have Joey Pants, or Joe Pantoliano, who was Cypher in The Matrix. And last but not least, Ernie Hudson, who is a Ghostbuster, as well as playing a very good role very good character in the 1992 film, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Okay, so here we are with Laura Linney and all of these people that I've talked about in a movie together, along with the talking ape who does like her share of having a good drink, all going to Africa. How does this turn out? Well, if you've read the book, because yes, friends, this is also a book by the infamous Michael Crichton, who wrote Jurassic Park, Coma, and I think he wrote Looker, if I'm not mistaken, from 1981 with Albert Finney, who was also in Skyfall. Okay, enough connecting dots. But, so we have Congo, and this movie is a very good sit-down, popcorn, enjoy. Don't think too hard, because if you think about all the science behind it, you might not enjoy it. You might be thinking too hard about how this wouldn't work or this wouldn't happen. This seems unnatural. But just let the adventure go. Also, if I can go back to Michael Crichton just for a moment, he also wrote and directed Westworld, the original film with Yul Brynner. And Yul Brynner was from The King and I. Okay. With Deborah Kerr. Okay. Enough of that. So, I love this adventure. I love this movie so much. And for it to pop up on my YouTube feed, I'm going to be just listening to the script while I do work around and listening to the characters, listening to, the story arcs. I'm sure there's some things just on a basic level. I like the movie, but I'm sure there are some really interesting things or commentary, quips, and things of that nature that I might have missed just because I haven't heard them in a while and just missed in general. So I'm very happy that, YouTube has it available for free with ads so that I can go back and listen to it and watch it. And I hope that you enjoy the movie also. So I'm going to just take a small look at what I find the most interesting about Congo is that it really tries to, I guess we were kind of on the precipice of like this whole technological thing that we were experiencing. I think computers had evolved over time and started to become taken a little more seriously than they had previously. I think in a lot of previous films, computers, I'm thinking back to even Westworld, that the computers and the people that were they weren't people, they were robots or androids that were programmed were looked at as something kind of out of the realm of possibility, whereas now, looking back, I can see how people in the 90s started to take computers a little more seriously. We started to have, AOL, and here's the really interesting part. I remember, I think it was during a Super Bowl game in the mid or early 90s, where there was a commercial, and the commercial talked about how you could send a photograph from one place to another using a fax machine. And this was revolutionary to be able to do that through the phone line. It was like, oh my gosh, I can send photos to people. So the facsimile machine became this big thing, and we used it a lot. And then as time rolled on, we had more technology and went into, of course, where we had Apple and Microsoft, and we had an actual operating system other than DOS. We had Microsoft systems, and that whole thing was geared to help you make life easier or step your business up. But again, between the time that Congo was made and later on, technology advanced a lot. And so in Congo, you have an entrepreneur businessman played by Joe Don Baker, who is just obsessed with finding the next cash cow for his company, because if he doesn't, he's dead in the water. The technology is going to just erase him, obliterate him and his company. And he was just kind of obsessed with coming up with a way to keep himself afloat. So enter his son. And he sent his son to Africa to acquire something. And his son is played by Bruce Campbell, and his name is Jeffrey. So he sends his son Jeffrey over to Africa to be able to acquire this thing that's supposed to be like the next big technological thing. Technological. I say it funny, but technological thing to keep his business afloat. And when they don't hear back from Jeffrey, we have, Laura Linney's character trying to figure out a way to how to go over there voluntarily. She volunteered to go to, not only acquire this thing for Joe Don Baker, but, to obviously find out what happened to Jeffrey because they were going to be married. So I think that's about all I want to say about it. Like I said before, I really enjoyed Amy, the gorilla, is very interesting. And one of the things that Congo can do for you is you can watch Congo and the kids can watch it too, pretty much. There's some cartoonish violence throughout. There is some shocking violence throughout, and but no, I would say nothing more nothing that you couldn't explain to a child. Like, look, this is not real, and and I'm sure the kid would understand. I was young when I saw it, and I got it. I understood it was not real. So, yeah, that's my look back at Congo, and I hope that you get a chance to watch it again if you haven't already watched it, and to just enjoy again. It's a great popcorn movie. It's a great movie to have on when you're bored, and or kind of like background. You can hear some of the funny things. If you've seen it 1,000 times, as I have, then you will enjoy hearing it and listening to it again. Also, shout out, of course, to Jerry Goldsmith and his fantastic score. I really liked his two kind of tribal type scores. One of them is for this movie, which is Congo, and the other one I really liked, which is along the same lines, is for The Ghost in the Darkness. The Ghost and the Darkness. There we go. And that movie is starring Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas. Also set in Africa, strangely enough. Or is it India? I actually think it's set in India, not Africa. No, I think it's set in Africa. Oh my gosh, I have to go watch Ghost in the Darkness now. So that's my revisit of Congo. Please, guys, enjoy. And as always, I'm the clapper loader. And without me, I'm so serious about this. Without a clapper loader, without me, there are no films.